Hi everyone, it's Katie out at the Mayborn Village Garden again today. I wanted to show y'all a new word that you may have heard of but weren't quite sure of what it was in the garden. So you've probably heard the word heirloom thrown around in the garden, whether it's different seeds or different plants, or even in the grocery store when you see certain plants and vegetables called heirloom. But the one you've probably heard the most of is what I have right here behind me. It's our heirloom tomatoes. And if you saw our garden tour, you already got to see a few fruit on them. But I want to tell you a little bit more about what does the word heirloom actually mean and why do we grow those here out at the Mayborn Village Garden. So we choose to grow heirlooms here because of the rich history that's connected with heirloom, because the word heirloom means something that's special that has been passed down from generation to generation. So seeds have also been passed down from generation to generation. So we try to plant varieties that would have been grown in Texas in the 1890s. So we have a couple plants here today that I want to show you. So let's check them out. So first we have this heirloom tomato called a persimmon tomato, which you've probably heard of persimmon maybe as the fruit tree. It's a really yummy fruit that grows here in Texas that you can have in your backyard as well. But we're going to talk about the heirloom persimmon, and this plant has actually been said to have been grown by Thomas Jefferson almost 200 years ago. So the seeds from this plant has been passed down from generation to generation, and that's what makes it an heirloom. Anything that has been around since the 1940s before is considered an heirloom, and it also has to be open pollinated. So what open pollinated means is if you see these flowers, that means they are going to be pollinated by the wind and bees and bugs, and not by hybrid varieties which are already bred with other varieties to be disease resistant and being able to have certain qualities that they want. But heirloom tomatoes actually have desirable characteristics because of all of the years that they've adapted to their climate. So let's check out another one over here. Alrighty, this is the last heirloom tomato I'm going to show you guys today. This is our Cherokee Purple heirloom tomato, which you've probably heard of. It's a pretty popular variety in the heirloom world. It's very, very tasty, gets really big, nice and juicy. If you haven't had one of those, you should definitely try it out at one of your farmers markets in the near future, or check out the grocery store if they have any. But the cool thing about this Cherokee Purple is, I bet you're wondering, where did it get that name, Cherokee Purple? Well, the purple, you'll find out, is from the color. That's pretty obvious. But the Cherokee is actually from the heirloom that we talked about, and what we mean by it being passed down as an heirloom, because it is said to have been passed down from a Cherokee tribe in Tennessee over 100 years ago. So when you think about this plant growing, that means its seed has been passed down and down and down, and eventually made its way to Texas, where we grow it at our Mayborn Village Garden. So as you're at your house looking for things that could be special to you, think about what history is attached to it and how special it is to you, and that makes it an heirloom.